Hi, everybody. I'm Nadine. It's so great that you're here. We're starting a brand new feature in my world. And what we're doing is I'm inviting each of the healers to come on and talk about a profound teaching, sort of a secret teaching. It's just like, what? How come people aren't telling me this? And so today I have Hillary on with me, and she's going to talk about the secret ways that chakras are communicating to us. So, Hillary, welcome. Why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself, real quick? Who are you?
Hi, thanks for having me, Nadine. I'm Hillary. I'm a full-time stay-at-home mom and full-time healer and like creatrix, I guess, very much like a homebody crafter, maker of things and ointments and whatnot. So yeah.
Fabulous. Okay, so we're talking today about, January, the theme for the month of January with all the healers is listening. And so when you tapped into listening, what showed up for you about sharing a teaching today?
I feel like we're so passively we're so passive with listening these days. It's one of our five main senses, and we always think of this outward, what we're getting from the outside world, and not actually like how our body is talking to us. I feel like we're very misaligned sometimes with how our body is trying to tell us little knowings throughout the day or throughout the year or our lives. So listening to me instead of coming from this sort of this outward environment is actually more internalized, coming through our chakras and part of our energy centers. And one in particular is that we can kind of work through, and that's a really that talks to us a lot without us knowing, is our root chakra. We're
Before we keep going, can you tell us more? What are the chakras? What are they?
So chakras are really phenomenal points in our body that help align our energies. So we have seven of them within our body, and they help us. Um, they're energy meridians. They're places where we can kind of realign ourselves back into our being and into our presence, and as well as we talk about dominant chakras as well. So some people are more aligned to certain chakras to help them move through their life.
Yeah, and I feel like chakras are really cool because they have encoded wisdom in them. They have past life wisdom, they have family wisdom, they have soul wound wisdom, they have all of this energy and medicine that for us to carry forward in our lives. And so I love this teaching that you brought forward because to me, it's just such a powerful way of us actually understanding, like, who am I? What am I doing here? Why am I messed up? Like, what's going on for me? Like, oh, why do I keep doing that? And this is a really good way of helping people kind of get that idea of, okay, what's showing up. Okay, so let's talk about the root. What's living down there? First of all, where is the root?
So the root chakra lives essentially in your groin area, and it's at the bottom half of your pelvis. And you can kind of imagine that as like your tipping point. You have your very root, and that's where your genitalia would be. And that's all. Then it's rooted in ancestry and groundedness and your whole existence on the planet. So passion, right? We talk about passion, but not creativity and not your reason. It's your reason to live, essentially, is what your root chakra is.
And
Um,
what do we want to listen to when we're tuning into the root chakra? What are some unusual ways maybe that the root chakra is giving us information and we're not listening to it?
One thing that a lot of people overlook is the random jitters. We when you get jittery or when you get excited or when you're feeling a little bit almost anxious, it can usually mean we're actually kind of ungrounded in our root chakra. It could mean we're feeling unsure of what's happening in our space, or maybe there's a fear, right? That's a deep rooted like fear of something in our environment or even in our body, right? Like when you have a fatal illness, your root chakra will become unaligned with your body, and you could have lots of different issues. And for women, it can show up in labia, or certain like vulvar issues can start arising, especially when we're out of alignment with our root chakra.
I
And so
love
that's the big one.
any poop issues, any bum issues are root chakra problems. If you're
Everything.
farting, if you've got hemorrhoids, if you've
Yes.
got fissures. These are all root chakra issues,
Yeah.
and the emotion around there, for most people, not always, but most people, is shame.
Yes.
Shame, shame, know your name. Oh, okay. Okay, so we're listening for ungrounded, for feeling anxiety, looking for any genital issues. What about ancestors? How do ancestors communicate with us through the root chakra?
This one's tricky because it's different for both of us. For women, I mean, it can be through birth trauma or birth experience, as well as the story around the mother. Can come from the vulva and from that root chakra more specifically, and men can experience that too. You know, erectile dysfunction, although is secondary chakra as well, that sacral chakra. The sacral chakra. We're actually when it becomes more of an inability to perform or erectile dysfunction, it becomes from that from the shame, but also from a story from your family of ancestors around procreation or like what's the story about men? Are they supposed to be masculine? Are they supposed to be overly in the world? Like how, it relates to the stories we pass down from generations before us in the family.
Cool. Yeah. Awesome. Okay, so those are good clues. I think you wanted to also talk about the heart chakra. So where's the heart chakra?
The heart chakra exists, well, right here. So if you have a hand under your breasts and then you put a hand on your throat, it's right in the middle, right over that beautiful heart space, in between your pectorals and kind of up and around that breast area.
Nice. And what are some of the ways that we can listen more to the heart chakra or recognize when it's communicating to us? What are some maybe clues that we're out of alignment?
Out of alignment is actually can show up really differently in a lot of different people because we talk so much about the heart, it's so normalized that when we're out of alignment with the heart, it can actually show up as like untethered emotions. So really highs and lows in people's reactions to things, as well as not being on like a life path, I guess. So not having like a knowing of where you want to be in the world. You're unaligned in your heart with this energy in the places around you. So you're making decisions based off of more of a gut than like a knowing in your heart space that you're on the direction you're going. And that can show up, like I said, as emotional things, as well as like a lot of questioning yourself. So not listening to that. Again, intuition and heart very similar, but there's heart knowings. There's kind of like that love idea, right? Really getting into the whole heart concept, I guess.
Cool. Okay, throat.
Throat's an interesting one because again, if almost everyone has the ability to speak, and those that don't have a totally different way of expressing themselves through speech. But one way for throat to really be, to not be in alignment with your throat is if you're for example, people that I know this is kind of tongue in cheek, but people that have a lot of throat problems. So if you have a tendency to cough, if you get dry throat really easily, maybe you're a smoker, right? Like these are all ways that you're actually telling yourself that this space is, your body is just reminding you, where are you not being heard? How are you not listening to all the downloads from the great oneness that are trying to tell you how to live, like how you need to express yourself.
Amazing. And so, so that's really great. So from the root, I'm hearing you're talking about feeling anxious, feeling ungrounded, looking for ancestral patterns about maybe femininity or masculinity. In the heart, we're talking about untethered emotions
Yeah.
and feeling depressed. And in the throat, we're talking about that we can't hear ourselves. We can't hear what is right living for us. So what do we do about that? How do we fix those things? What are two tips that you can give anybody if they recognize this right now and they're like, holy moly, that's going on for me? What can they do? Two things.
Uh, oh, the first one is always, to somehow ground yourself into your body, whether that's drinking water or drinking tea. Even coffee will work, although it is a stimulant, so it can be a little bit, again, jittery, right? or even food, if you need something to get in your body, so that you can actually concentrate on this chewing formation, right? Or this act of actually inviting energy into your body so that you can actually say, so you can talk to your food or your water going through your body. You can take a big glug and be like, oh, okay, like I'm feeling a little bit, I'm feeling a little untethered. Have a big gulp of water and be like, I have this, like things are, so that's one way you can do it, is like literally just shove food in your face or drink a whole bunch of tea or liquid. It'll remind you that you're on planet. The other one would be, I think, like a grounding technique, would be my other one. Especially if you're new to the work, is just remind yourself, stand very firmly on the ground, feet hip width distance apart, take 3 really big deep breaths in and out, and try and see if you can listen to what needs the most attention at the time.
Cool. And how would you know what needs attention? Would it just be a sensation in the body, an intuitive calling?
I think honestly, it's really it's really based on the person. So if there is an intuitive calling, I think you should work there. Maybe it's not going to show up as a heart or a throat at the time, or sacral or solar. It could be anywhere. So it could be an intuitive. It could be physical, right? Like a lot of ailments in our body do relate to chakral work and to all other ailments that we have. So if you have heartburn, that has to do with your heart chakra. If you have a cough, that has to do with your throat. If you have diarrhea, if you have hemorrhoids, like what Nadine was saying, like, so this is why the listing is so important. This is why to ingest food or water and then to ground into it, and you'll somehow your body will tell you what you need, or it'll tell you where it needs support at the time.
Fabulous. Okay, Hillary, that was amazing. So you're located in Calgary, is that correct?
I am, yes.
Okay. And if people want to book in with you, you do 1 hour one-to-one sessions
Yes, I do.
in person or over Zoom, is that correct?
Yeah, both.
Amazing. So we'll just get the link hooked up in my bio if people want to reach out. You can email me, Nadine@NadineRobinson.com, and I can get you connected with Hillary if you want a one-to-one energy healing session with her. Thank you so much, Hillary. It was wonderful to see
Thanks
you.
for having me. Yeah.
Awesome. Okay, bye.
Bye.